Hello and welcome back to the yogscast. Just kidding. You're here because you want to know how to fix the yogscast complete world download, where the link will be in the description. It sometimes deactivates, so if it's not there at that point, then just make a comment and I will probably come relatively quickly with the new link. Or I will make a new link that won't expire. I don't know. You'll never know until you click it. So click it, because that's what you're here for anyways. So the fix is relatively simple in technicality, but you have to commit to it in a way that I'm not sure if you can do if you don't have the confidence to do it. So I rate this technical fix as a lack of confidence out of 10, as in that follow along with me and it will be easy, but if you have to do this entirely on your own, you might be a little bit lost. So crack open your second tab or your second screen. You can't crack open a second screen. Here we are at the AT launcher. You can see my bright pink cursor. That should help you find me on the screen there. Hello everybody, here's me, I'm Cursor. Here we go to the open folder button. You don't need any of the options in the drop down here. That's your resource pack thing. You just press here to open the folder. From here, first part, we're going to do the terrifying one, absolutely crapping your pants right now, into here, and you scroll, oh, well, here we are at the top here, and I will scroll nice and slowly and comfortably. Let's just meander our way down. Might kind of make your head spin a little bit if I go a little too fast. Actually, I need faster. Let me just... yeah, here we are. Twilight Forest configuration file. You double click this, and if it prompts you for what do you open this with, you say Notepad. Down here at... brought here to line 71, where it shows dimension ID for the Twilight Forest. This dimension conflicts with a previously existing dimension, said dimension being one of the Mistcraft ones. And this number can be anything that isn't already occupied, although I have yet to figure out what numbers are already occupied for dimension ID. What I put it at is about 200. This variable type is probably accepting anything up to 255-ish, probably 254, but you probably shouldn't try to go in any of the later numbers on any variable, because those could probably be taken by a lot of things that just go, I'm going to put it in the last number of the variable to make it make sense. So. And here you need to, in the file drop down, if you don't commonly use Notepad, it's a lot of people who don't commonly use Notepad, you press in the file drop down up here to save. So if you're one of the many people in the world who doesn't regularly use Notepad, you go in File here to press save, or Control S. It handily shows you that right there. In the corner there, you see the dot turn into the X. That's how you're able to tell if you have unsaved work on one of them, because it has the dot instead of the X. It's trying to tell you to not close it. So if you see the dot disappear in favor of the X, well, then it's saved successfully. You can close it and continue onwards. The next step for this, what we need is to go down to this one. This folder is the mods folder. It contains all the mods. To make this pack work in general, and you might have already done this step if the pack has worked for you before, so these three are problems. So what we need to do is find those three and delete them out of the mods folder. So I might cut out doing that. You just have to find these three, exactly how they're named there, and delete those three files. I'm going to skip over me just doing that. After deleting these three files, Your installation will work, question mark, but you will need to do some stuff to make it work the same as normal modern day Minecraft. Minecraft skins don't show up correctly on older versions, so you'll need something like this skin patch to make your Minecraft skin show up on this version. So after the previous steps, everything should work. However, your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to do something for me. I have an issue that is specifically on the version of it that I have on my desktop computer. At least I think so. Unfortunately, it no longer seems to want to run on my desktop. I have been trying for a couple of days now. Unfortunately, I am not an expert in the programming language of Java. Not yet, at least. So, here is what you do for a optimal experience. We are back right now to the configuration file directory. Where we go now is we go to the Mistcraft. We go to core configurations. We scroll down here to options instability. Here it says line 53. You turn it to false. You save the configuration file. You close the thing. And then what you do is you go into age 18. It's the world that contains the old MoonQuest base and such. Everything from that era. On my desktop computer, there is a bunch of junk little chunks that have decided to be anything but what they should be. They have bits of nether in there, I think, and also mine shafts. I have a feeling it may just be an instability for Mistcraft. However, I have not much of a way to know, given that the version where I could have a look at it is now inaccessible to me, and my laptop, as might be seen from the footage, is it just keeps crapping out. It does not have enough RAM to properly run it for any sequence of time, so I have no idea if just something is corrupting. I don't know if it's my hard drive, I don't know if it's the world. However, what you need to do is if you take a look at it, you will be able to tell. So take a look around the world known as Age 18. You can find a book to it in the Flux Buddies base. It's just on the ground floor, the side facing the door. I should have footage for that. And go around, see if you can find everything, and more importantly, see if it's intact. I use Journey Map to render the whole of the world in the map so that I can have a, air quotes, quick overview. It takes a while. Journey Map's kind of broken, but you can at least use it to render every chunk into the map. I don't think anything else just has a button for that. At least nothing that I've tried. And you tell me, are any of those chunks covered in netherrack? You have to turn off the instabilities, though, to make sure that it, well, first of all, is not an instability, and second of all, the actual instability that is there makes it snow constantly. So if you do that and the snow comes down, you won't be able to see it from the map. Anyways, have fun, by the way. You'll probably have significantly more fun than I did. I've been having enough fun, just because I like media preservation. I say that despite the fact that I think I have a good idea what clip I'm gonna put under me saying this, and it's me destroying the American flag to put the Canadian flag. But yeah, I hope you have fun. I hope you choose to implement this fix. And some people have just decided not to, so I thought, hey, I'm gonna make something where you just walk through it with me, and that should work. Anyways, so now we've reached the end. Thank you for watching this far. To compensate me for my mental turmoil and anguish, you don't have to like or comment. Just you draw fan art of me and Ridge Dog having a fist fight. Haha, funny cats versus dogs moment. Oh my gosh, it's so cool, and I would love to see it. It's input, revive the fandom a little bit. You know, so we have the world download back. So yeah, let's all have fun and have a better day than I am having, mostly. That's what I hope for you. Good day to you.